When we have a bad day, it's like you get an examination paper. Now, I'm quite an avid student. I've studied for most of my life. And one of the things that I really love about examinations is I get like a real thrill when I have to write an exam. Those of you who are competitive will know why, because you get this paper and now there's this opportunity to prove yourself. So it's the same as in drama when you get a test paper. We have to change our attitude towards our tribulations and our trials. We have to welcome them and say, wow, isn't this amazing? I've got this test going down today. Let's see how well I'm going to pass it. Because when we are victims, then we want to say, oh, somebody's defaming me, somebody's attacking me, and then we get like a whole lot of attention from a whole lot of people, and that's all about victim consciousness. So we know that in drama, anything that is happening at any time is absolutely accurate. So when you accept that reality and that truth, when something comes to attack you, which it does, or whether it's character assassination, whether it's defamation, whether it is people trying to steal from you, whatever the thing is, we all receive things like that from time to time. We have to see it as a test and then have this feeling of like in a game, because when the Bokke go onto that rugby field, they don't go on crying, oh, the Kiwis are going to bless you, the Kiwis are going to destroy us again. No, they don't. They go on fighting. We must go onto the field of our life doing spiritual battle because we are empowered. We have power. We're powerful beings. Do you feel weak or do you feel powerful? Our power lies in what we think, what we feel, what we say, and what we do. That's where our power lies. Our soul power goes into our thinking, our feeling, our decisions, our thoughts, our actions. That's where our soul power goes. It's like when you wake up in the morning, you get ka-ching, 24 hours in your bank balance. You get another day. It goes in. That's power as well. We have the power of time. So when I say that we have a bad day, it's good because then you are going to find out what you are made of. You will know yourself. You'll get a grade. Yeah, okay, how did you pass? First class pass? Second class pass? Third class pass? Or fail? You got to check. And if you fail, who cares? No big deal. Because tomorrow you've got another opportunity. Okay. So let's sit quietly now and do some meditation, because meditation is the basis. It is the foundation for the accumulation of all power. And I know all of you like these short talks. You like to come, you like to listen to the topics that we cook up for you every week. But ultimately, and it's good that you get knowledge, but ultimately, whether you pass or fail in your daily tests is between you and your meditation practice. We have to do the hard yards. We've got to do the work. Okay. So that's why at 3:30 in the morning, when I would far rather be snuggling under my duvet, I get my sorry ass out of bed and I go and I sit down and I work on my mind. I go and I do it. And then that prepares me. Okay, I'm not saying you've got to do it at 3:30. That's only because my day starts so early. Any time before 8 o'clock in the morning, you need to be parking off and finding out what's going on in here. Are you connected to the Supreme Being? Do you feel that power and energy coming towards you? Because it's being given out wholesale. So our topic today is letting go and letting God. We know this saying quite well. We use it. We say, oh, come on, let go and let God. It's so easy to say these things, but it is not easy to do those things. Because from the time that we have been old enough to walk and talk, we have been trained to control. Yesterday I held a baby. I love holding babies. The baby's mommy comes to one of my yoga classes. And then when they do their relaxation, then I hold the baby, because then the mommy can really let go. Yeah? She can enjoy, she knows that her child is going to get taken care of, so she can really benefit from her yoga nidra exercise. And the whole time that I held that child, I watched how the soul was attempting to control the body. Consciously. We don't watch them like that, in that way normally, because they're so cute. They are like cuteness overload. Babies are cuteness overload. They're radiating so many pure energies that is what is actually captivating your attention. You're a grandmother, you know what I'm talking about, yeah? They are radiating sweetness and peace. They can't talk, but they're giving out they are radiating so many divine virtues. And that's what we love about them. But whilst they are just radiating those qualities, but in actual fact, they are busy with a very important task, and that is the task of developing their bodies so that they can actually have control over them. 3-month-old baby is trying its damnedest, like us in our yoga classes when we are standing in Ardha Chandrasana and we've got one hand on the floor and one leg on the mat and the other leg up and the other arm up. We are really working hard to balance our body. That's how hard that baby was working to balance her head and her back and her legs and her arms. So I witnessed that. So the whole aspect of control comes in very early in life, that we want to control things, we want to control events, we want to control other people, we want to control outcomes. This is the thing about our lives, is we come up with this plan, this master plan of how life should be. This must happen and that must happen, and my children should study this, and they should go to that university, and I want to build a certain property in a certain place, or I want to study this particular thing. We are trying to control things all the time. And when they don't go according to plan, we become deeply frustrated and angry, because they don't go according to plan. So we create a number of plans, and our plans are huge traps. They trap us. And the thing about a plan is that if I have a plan, I normally have a hidden desire in that plan. I want something out of that plan. So the motivating force for creating a plan, or some kind of dream, you could say even a dream, is because there is a desire there. I have a desire. The desire might be that I want other people to admire me. The desire might be that I want to boost my self-respect with a certain qualification or car or home in St. Francis Bay. And we have to always, when you have a plan, you must go and check the desire behind the plan and assess for yourself. Be ruthless. Ask yourself, is that desire pure? Is it a pure desire? So how do we know whether a desire is pure or not? Yeah? We have to look at, is the fulfillment of that plan or that desire going to benefit me and other people too? Does anyone lose through that plan? Is my desire coming from any one of the 5 vices? Is it out of attachment? Is it out of ego? Is it out of lust? Is it out of greed? Is it out of anger? I have to check. Why do people sue one another? What motivates the suing of a person to another person? Why can't we sort out our differences in a reasonable fashion? Why do people sue one another? What is their motive? Which one of the 5 vices is it when somebody chooses they're going to now go and sue someone? Ego, yes. But that's a very broad term. Which facet of ego if somebody is wants to sue someone? Greed is on its own category. There's anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. That's the algae, right? So ego. Say, for instance, there's a couple and they're going to divorce now, right? And the one goes to their one divorce lawyer and the other one goes to another divorce lawyer. Yeah. Now they've got to go and settle what is the property that they've accumulated between themselves over a period of time. It's messy. It's messy. Yeah. But basically, the reason why they say, for instance, the one party wants to try and extract as much out of that situation as they possibly can. What is motivating that greed? What are they truly expressing through wanting to rob a person actually of their property?
Fear of loss.
Fear of loss, yes, they don't want to lose it for sure, but they're wanting to actually take it away from somebody else.
Yes. Anger.
It's anger because they want revenge.
Yeah.
Because the relationship has failed. We have to check because revenge is connected to anger. There's vengeance there. And we know with the law of karma, whatever motivating emotions we set any task into motion with, if it is coming out of an impure energy, the chances are that we are going to suffer through that action. Guaranteed. It's not even a chance, actually, it's guaranteed. If I'm trying to sue somebody because I'm angry and I want vengeance, I'm going to suffer from it. I will suffer. Because we want to control. Ultimately, whatever is happening is supposed to happen. Once we have learned how to control our bodies like that little baby who is trying so hard to control her body, yes, she's going to be babysat by me on Saturday night. I'm very proud that her mommy asked me to do that. Why? Because her mommy saw I'm very confident with this baby and the baby likes me. So now I'm going to have like a whole night of one baby. Isn't that amazing? So happy about it. Yeah? Because I feel trusted now. Yeah? So once we as babies or children have learned how to control our bodies, that is where the control should end. But no, ego takes over and we want to control our lives. We are told we have to control everything. We plan it out. I knew a financial advisor who had his entire life plotted out on a spreadsheet. Which year his children were going to be born. Hello? Which year the babies were going to be born. When he was going to buy the house. When he was going to get the cars. He had it all planned out, plotted out. Unfortunately, he didn't make the date that his wife was going to divorce him. Because she did. He didn't plan that. It wasn't on the plan. And yet it happened. And this is the thing, is that when we try to control too much, the right things don't happen for us. Because you know what the universe says? The universe says, okay, no problem, be my guest. You think you can do it better than me? No problem, go ahead. And so we do. And then we do it with a motivation that is impure. And then with that impure motivation, we then pick up an account. And then we wonder why things go wrong and why we suffer. We force issues. We want to do things our way. But in actual fact, the universe and nature is conspiring to assist us in every possible way, to bring to us every possible thing that it is that we need as souls in this amazing drama of life, everything that we need in order to play our part accurately. Each and every single one of us has a unique role to play in this human drama. When we are limited by ego and our plans, we don't see the signs, we can't pick up the signals, we don't know when God is showing us the way, we don't know what's going on because we're trying to control it too much. So I'm asking you now, please look at how much you're trying to control other people, events, and your own life. Because if you let go of this illusion that it is under your control, and you let God enable everything to unfold, you are going to get something so much better than you could conceive for yourself. So we are trying to control everything, but actually there is a master plan. There is a plan, but we don't see that plan. Because when we get so fixated on how it is that we want to do things, and we're so ego-driven that we don't actually, we move out of the groove of our plan. We move out of sync with the universe. And that is why we experience pain. This is also why it is that we experience fear, why we suffer. We suffer so much because now we have to be responsible for the enactment of this plan. And you know what? We can't do it. We're not responsible. So the thing about this is then we need to ask ourselves, why is it that we want to control things? Why do we want to control them? Because you're all here, you're all wanting to control something. Why are we wanting to control events, circumstances, other people? Why are we doing that?
No trust.
There's no trust, yeah? What are we trying to secure?
That it gets done, that it stays together.
We are trying to make sure that things remain the same, aren't we? We are trying to build security in external situations. But can we do that? Can we actually can we secure things physically and externally all the time? What is the nature of life like?
Change.
Change. The one constant is that everything will change. And yet we are trying to make it all stay the same. Why are we doing this? Why do we do this?
I think we fear change.
It's fear of change, yeah? The comfort of it, yeah?
Get out of the comfort zone.
We're in a comfort zone. Actually, our comfort zone can also cause us an enormous amount of pain. It's far better to be within the groove of change, because that way then you're feeling, yeah? Then you're journeying, because life is a journey. Then you're on a pilgrimage, you're moving forward. But we want to stand still. We want to make ourselves stand still. We want to say, this is how it's supposed to be. Here's the pretty picture, and we're going to take this pretty picture, and it's going to remain like this forever. Because I found the formula for happiness. So we want to secure things externally. But in actual fact, our security can never be placed on external things. Look at Robert Mugabe now. He has spent his entire life securing his situation. And yet still, the drama changed it for him. So when we let go of this thought that I have to control everything, things become far more open for us. Because when we have a plan and we're sticking to the plan, we have these blinkers on. And then we only can see that. That means that we cannot see anything that is on the left and anything that is on the right. We have a plan and we're looking like this. And we're going for that focus. Who was it? Somebody else was also, yes, one of my students in Mozambique. She said to me, because she was lying, when you lie down on the mat, then some people, their heads go to the right, and other people, their heads go to the left. And the position of the head is an indicator of where the mind is. Okay, so I really annoy my students like this, because if the head is going to the right, they are in the future. If the head is going to the left, they're in the past. And I tell them, come into the present time. Yeah? Come into this moment now. Because when we come back into the present time, and we are focused on the present moment, our vision opens up like this. When we are going for it, this is what she said to me. She said, I am so focused on the next action that she said, I'm not making any memories because my mind is always on what is coming next. And those were her exact words. She says, I'm not making any memories. I'm living in a constant blur of anticipation of the next moment. So wisely, she worked out her own condition. Yeah, and I noticed because her head went to the right, she's already in the future, in the next action. So we have to come back to the present time. When we come into the present time and we pay attention to what is going on, whatever is the plan, because we do set things in motion. Of course we do. Yeah? I want to study my English in honours next year. I set it in motion. I applied to UNISA. I'm not fixated on it. I'm not like checking my mail every day to check and see, did I get in? Did I get in? No, I don't care if I get in or not. If I get in, I'm supposed to do the course. If I don't get in, I'm not supposed to do the course. Guess what? Drama's going to decide for me. Yay! Because when it is that life decides for you, or God decides for you, when you let go and let God, when God decides for you, or that's what we call it or say it, but actually it is that the universe is saying, this is what you should be doing now. When that happens, you think, this is the moment. So now, am I going to succeed in this task? Absolutely, I will succeed. Why? Because it is happening. It is happening for me. But then when it doesn't happen, then, oh, and why not, and why can't I do it, and oh, and this, and oh, and that. Never mind. If I don't get into honours, I'm going to go and study homeopathy. Yeah, I'm going to go and study that as well, because I also want to do that, because I'm excited. I'm going to study all the time and learn new things. Yeah, and if I can't do homeopathy, then I'll go and do my intermediate yoga class. And I'll be an intermediate yoga teacher too. There's so many possibilities. There's so much I want to do. But to be fixated on a particular thing is not good. Because when you have an open mind, then you can see what is around you. And you get the signal. The signal will come. Yeah, that thought came to me in Mozambique. I was swimming in the ocean. The ocean was grey. It was actually so polluted. I could not believe that. I've never seen a grey ocean. In Maputo, it's not blue, it's not green, it's grey because of pollution. But never mind. Now I'm swimming in the sea and I'm thinking, I must protect my thoughts that I'm not absorbing whatever is in this water. Yeah? And then I thought, wow, hey, I could study homeopathy. That would be fun, because I'm really interested in people's health. I love their health. Or, you know what? Then I thought, hey, I could study Ayurveda, because you're a Kapha, and I can see that. Your body type is Kapha. And he's Pitta and Vata. That's why he gets stiff, because it's dry. Hey, I could do that. And then I can advise people on how to get the best out of their body. Connected with the yoga. Yeah? These are the exercises you do. These are the foods that you eat. Why? Because people are interested in their health, like a kind of a yoga personal trainer. So all of these ideas, they may never come to fruition, but guess what? When you have an open mind, ideas flow. If you get too fixated on one thing, ideas don't flow. And that is true dreaming. And then, if it is that you're supposed to be doing that, I promise you, when you're paying attention and you're looking at what is going on around you, then you'll see that the signs will come up, because you'll be assisted. The universe will support you. You will be helped. The help comes. And then you think, wow, this is wonderful. It's amazing. The help is coming. Then you know it's meant to be. And then you know that God is involved, or a divine power, or this great, amazing, what I like to call God. I call God the great all that is, because I don't like the word God and all of these words that limit God, actually. So I call it the great all that is unfolding around me. Yeah? And for me, that's like a little secret, because if you take all of those letters, the great all that is, it actually is the 4 letters of my name. Not that I think I'm the great all that is, but there's just a beautiful coincidence that the great all that is also, it can spell Gita. So I feel that I'm in sync with the great all that is. And that's my special little, what's the word? My special little gift that I feel is for myself. Yeah? And so I'm going to pay attention to the great all that is going on around me, and pick up the signal as to what it is that the great all that is telling me what the next move is and what is supposed to be happening. Even if it's causing me pain in the moment. Pain is good. I don't mind pain and suffering, actually. It has its role in our lives. It teaches us things. Yeah, pain is mandatory. Suffering is a choice. So all of us, we go through challenges. Pain will come into our life. But if we choose to suffer around it, or take up the victim consciousness, or the oh, woe is me, or all of those things, if we do that, then we suffer. We all have a certain allotment of pain. It's good, because it makes us grow. Pain is a profound emotion. The deeper your pain, the deeper your bliss. Because pain opens up the ability to experience. Otherwise, we are numb. Pain is not bad. Fixation on it is bad. So let yourself feel your pain. The pain of your mistakes, the pain of your transgressions, the pain of not having done something, the pain of having done something. It's fine to feel that pain, because that's called learning. Okay. So let go now. Life is so enjoyable. Yeah. If you get stuck in a traffic jam, well, in Port Elizabeth we don't have traffic. In Maputo you get stuck in traffic jams. Yeah. So we can actually suffer through that, or we can look at the road and the people, all the beauty that is there in these people in this place. Yeah? There's so many ways that we can take benefit out of every situation. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, look for what the gift is of the present moment. You've been given a gift. Present moment has got a gift. I got on the bus without a bus ticket. Can you believe it? They let me on the bus and I didn't have a bus ticket because I thought I'd bought a return, but I hadn't. I bought a single. And I very innocently showed it to the conductor and he said, "Hi, welcome," looked at it, put me on the bus. I get on the bus, then they come and they double check the ticket. They said, "You know, this is like for the 4th of November and today's the 19th. I said, "Oops." Sorry, I didn't buy a return. And they thought, "Oh, that's interesting. Gee, they're going to put me off on the road here. I'm going to have another adventure." That was my first thought. I'm going to have this adventure of being like put off the bus in the middle of like the road, you know. And I thought, gee whiz, that'll be interesting. I wonder what I'll do. It was very entertaining to me that I didn't panic. And the conductor was, because you know, Africans are amazing. This is what I learned about traveling on buses. In fact, I'm going to travel on buses more because we protect ourselves with our fancy cars and we protect ourselves with our fancy houses. But when we get ourselves into public transport and on a bus somewhere, you are on the ground level with everyone and you are all the same. That is equality. And you know what? It is wonderful. It is the most wonderful feeling. Because a mama who's sitting there, she's like wrapping her arms around herself like this so that she'll sit upright because she needs to sleep. And I said to her, "Do you need to sleep?" And she says, "Yes." I said, "Put your head on my shoulder and sleep on my shoulder." Because I was by the window and she was next to me. She slept on me the whole way. I don't know her from Adam, but she was my sister and she slept on my breast. Yeah? Why? Because she was there and she needed to sleep. Yeah? So somehow that lady and I, we have now a bond. And I have a memory now of how a total stranger was happy to sleep on my arm and on my chest. And I was happy to do that. I felt close to her. It made me happy. Yeah? On the way back also, this brother sat next to me. He was a teacher. He said, "Oh, I've got so much marking waiting for me." I said, "Boy, do I have piles, you know. Also marking waiting for me. That's why I'm going home. I'm going back to all that marking." And so he said, "Well, actually what? We WhatsApp one another and we have a competition who can mark the most." So now I'm having a conversation with a school teacher who has just been to Mbabane. I think he's in Benoni, and we're having a competition as to who's getting the most marking done. And that's such fun, you know. So I send him a picture of my pile and he sends me a picture of his pile, you know, and we're having this conversation. So it's like life gives you the most amazing experiences when you stop trying to control it. Let it go. Let it go. There are so many gifts. We have got so many wonderful gifts waiting for us that we are not experiencing because we are trying to control things too much. We're missing out on the beauty of life.